countdown. You know? What up, world? We live and direct. Another blessed week, another great week with the locker room. Extraordinary cast. Again, the crew. My host, Bobby Mack, Elmer Fisher, Ghetto, sports reporter, news reporter. He gonna give you sports and news.
I got something for you today.
Okay.
Mr. Mark. What you like to be called? The CEO? We got to give you a nickname. When you come on the show, what you want to be known as? The Money Man?
They just call me Mark P. That's it.
We're going to give you
Money Man.
Mark P. Yeah, we're going to give him the Money Man.
Money Man.
I like Money Man. Tonight,
I like it too.
You the Money
We'll rock
Man,
with
bro.
Money Man tonight.
Let's go with
I
it.
like that. Money Mark.
We got Mr.
Mark. There it is right there. Boom.
Hey, one of the things we need to be really aware of is financial literacy, man.
Yes.
So we're going to put some people in front of you that can enlighten us and grow us all in the direction we need to be going with our finances and businesses and just having a little fun and talking football. You're a Cowboys fan because you know we talking today.
I'm not a Cowboy fan.
Oh, well, you in trouble
I thought
then.
you were looking at somebody
No,
else.
I was looking straight at you. I got 4 of them. One of them was on you, though. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Cowboys get busy.
49er fan.
49.
Okay. So look. Look.
I got Money Man foot out, man. This dude here, man.
He just got strength.
He said he just got strength. Man.
Mark, can I ask you a question?
No, don't ask him nothing, man.
Who is your team, bro? Speak for yourself.
He just said it.
49er.
You said it kind of low, like
No, he said it. I heard him.
you heard him.
Yeah, I heard
I
him.
must have been drinking the Jag at the time, but I'm a 49er fan.
Wow.
Oh,
So
man.
I can admit I didn't have the same energy last week. I wasn't feeling the same about myself last week, fellas,
man.
but it's a new week, man, and
Yeah,
we grind every week. Levi, what
right.
you think, Levi?
Yeah.
Man, look, a win is a win. That's all.
That's
I'm
it.
saying. However you get it done, however you go to the next week.
And you
if
give him
can get a
Sunday
win,
or Monday.
The season start over again.
That's
It
it.
matters in December. Them
Oh,
wins add up
it
in
gets
December,
chilly.
bro.
He gets
Yeah. Fish, you a quarterback. Talk to me.
I'm a Houston Texans fan. I'm proud of C.J. Stroud. We getting it going. I hope that we build around him
Yeah.
and we see some miraculous things happen.
That's
gonna
be
awesome. Man, guess what? When you're at the bottom, you can't do nothing but come up.
No, you can't do nothing. But I mean, the core.
Say that again.
When
so
you're at
you
the
hear
bottom,
you.
you can't do nothing but come up.
If you real,
That's
you
it.
know what I'm saying?
That's
Keep
it.
grinding till you pop.
Yeah.
But they got a good nucleus, though. I like it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just now with the Stroud draft. I'm forgiving them for not getting Vince Young a little bit. I've been mad at them for not getting Vince Young for years, bro. That hurt my heart.
So
You know what I'm saying?
So I understand.
I think that would have changed the pathway of that man's career, bro.
Probably would have.
Yeah,
think it would
Yeah,
have.
yeah, for sure. But then in the same token, what we have to also understand is being a hometown hero sometimes has its negatives to it as well.
That's why Ray
because
left.
there's so much that can push you away from what you need to be focused on.
Right.
It's tough being a hometown hero, man.
Yeah, but
And you ain't even that.
It's even tougher, and that's why I like listening to that Rich Paul interview. It's even tougher getting drafted by a coach that don't really want you too. Though.
Man,
You know what I'm saying? That's trying to play you out the league too, bro. So it's a give-take situation. You know?
Real talk.
But it is what it is. Blessed week. I know we're gonna come back to Levi. He gonna give us some information, some sporting news, and just some news that's going on in the community. Keep us enlightened. But let's get to this money, man. Let's talk, Elmer. Let's get to it, man.
Well,
we got an excellent guest.
We got a great guest. I mean, Mark Perkins has been in the finance arena for over 10 plus years.
Awesome.
VP of Charles Schwab. So we're gonna let him kind of tell his story, but not only tell his story, but be able to give us some information that helps us. You know, because the biggest question that everybody is trying to figure out is how do I build wealth? How do I make sure that I have a secure retirement? You know, what are some of those processes and what does that take? So Mark, his new name for the locker room
Money Man Mark.
is Money Man Mark.
Man, ain't no other question. We're not playing no games. And then on top of that, Mark, Money Man.
Okay.
You know that's my nickname in Michigan. I'm the Money Man. That's what they call me.
He
in
really
Michigan.
is. They call him
But
money.
anyway,
They call him
you
money.
more player than me.
No,
bro. I
no,
give
no,
it to
that's
you.
true.
You on another level. But check it out though. You got to tell the people what you want to talk about too.
Yeah.
Don't just get up here.
Yeah,
This the
yeah.
locker room. We kick back, bro.
Yeah.
So what you got on your heart, the information you need our people to start grasping and incorporating into their everyday lifestyle, you feed them, bro. It's your show.
Absolutely. A couple of things that you said in the beginning, Elmer, where you talked about, you know, we want to talk about retirement. You want to talk about what your life looks like when you get to these stages. And kind of what I see from our people is that we just don't plan for it. Most of the clients that I work with or that my team works with, they don't look like us.
Wow.
But I can tell you, they coming in every single year to look at that financial plan.
Wow.
They're not checking on their, so like us, we're not checking on our financial health. Just like we need to go to the doctor, you know, we won't go to the doctor when we got to.
Right. Yeah.
But to do all those things, you got to have money.
Right.
So they coming in every year to look at their financial plan. Am I still on track? And they got millions.
Man.
Are we still on track? Is my family gonna be okay? They really want to know, what does retirement look like?
Right.
So for our people, that's the first thing you got to start with. It's just getting the plan.
Yeah.
Think about what you want retirement to look like. And it might, you know, I want to sit in the house. I don't want to do much. I don't want to travel. I don't want to help nobody with school. That might be it, and that's okay. But if you do have aspirational goals to pass on some wealth to your family, leave a legacy, that's something you got to plan for in the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
Or plan for it early. And that's kind of what we were talking about earlier, Elmer. You know, I didn't pick finance, you know, early on in my college career or whatever. That was something I kind of ended up in. When I left LBJ, I thought I was going to be a computer engineer or something like that. That's what I wanted to do.
Hold on, throw the flag. You know, I brag. I brag real hard, bro. Where'd you graduate from?
LBJ,
Oh, you from
2001.
Shout out to the J Fish. Let's take a toast to the world renowned LBJ Jaguars.
Salute, baby. Jaguar.
Hey, Black excellence continue.
So when I left there, I came to school and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna do computer engineering, be a science guy. But I was lazy. I was lazy. So when I got to school and I saw the first science book I had to have was gonna be like this, I said, I gotta do something.
I just talked to a group of kids about that. When I went to Michigan, I'm hyped. You know, you talking crazy like some of the kids. I want to be in business school. I want to be in law school. Man, the dude that used to cut our hair when I first got to Michigan was in law school.
Okay.
Well, first, in his room, them books was different. I said, yeah, kinesiology. Kinesiology.
Cut all that short
Communications.
Man.
You know?
I'd say,
but go ahead.
I can't do that. I would say I'm going to flunk out this first semester because I didn't read the books in LBJ. I did well, but I wouldn't get through that in a semester. It wasn't going to happen. So I was like, all right, what else can I do? But no, I didn't have no direction. My next thing was,
that's the key.
All right, let's look at, I see accountants on TV. I feel like they make money. That looked like a fun job.
Yeah.
Let me check that out. I get in my first or second accounting classes. I was like, I figured out I don't want to do accounting.
Man.
But what I did like was finance, being able to see how I could make money grow, understanding things like, go back home, I tell my mom, I said, Mom, if we had just saved, $50 a month for my school, invested it, it would have been paid for. Why didn't we do that? And she gave me the realest answer she could have gave me. And it was just like, Mark, I didn't have the information or the education to do something like that.
That's real.
We don't know.
It's a real moment.
We did know. And I was like, you know what? I want to go into finance because I want to be able to help people get the information they're just not giving out in school. That would have been a good class for me to do in high school if it was available. And I think they do that now some places.
Some places, there you go. Not where we are. We need that.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's what I want to do. And then I remember I had just bought my first car on my own. I was excited. I had caught a cab to CarMax. And I was like, oh man, I'm gonna go buy this car. All I had was a backpack and a checkbook.
Man.
Got up there and the guy asked me, how much do you want, what do you want your payments to look like? So I told him this, which was, he just saw me coming.
Man.
And $250.
Yeah, because CarMax, he know, yeah.
I was like, it wasn't a big car, nothing like that. It was like $250
but still,
for 5 years.
money. You know, you got it coming.
I get in that finance class. I put in the numbers to my calculator. I said, hold on, this dude didn't charge me almost double for this car. But that was a lesson learned. If you don't have the information, you're just not gonna know it. So that's kind of how I ended up in finance. And then when I came out of college, there was a couple of job avenues I could have gone. It was a bad time. I finished in 2009.
Oh, okay.
Bad time in the market. Recession. I had 2 job opportunities One was to be a financial advisor, and then one was to work at a department store as a manager. And I was like, man, degrees in finance. Let me try my hand at finance and see what happens. I feel like I can be a department manager somewhere at any time. Yeah. So I went with finance, and that's how I got into the business.
Oh, cool. So within that, I think one of the biggest things would be most people are afraid to have a conversation with a finance person.
Sure.
And where would one start if they were to call a Charles Schwab? Where do they start?
Now, keep in mind, a lot of people scared to ask those questions because they feel like saving, investing is only for the rich.
Right.
Like you can't start with minimal funds. So address the, middle class, low, because that's where we need to start.
Yeah.
It's
it's
equitable for all of us.
We're going to hit all of it. So I think the first place where you can start to get comfortable with your finances and learning how to invest is going to be with your jobs. Most of our jobs are going to have a 401k or some type of retirement plan.
Yeah.
And what I see is, especially from our community, is we just don't understand what that plan is.
Yeah.
Do you have investment options in there? Do you have a matching component to it? How long does it have to be there for you to even have? Are you fully vested in it?
Right.
So I've talked to some of my friends in the past, and if you don't do anything to it, what they're probably going to do is just invest you in cash. So you're not making no money in that.
Correct.
It's just dollar for dollar is going in. It's going to add up to something at some point, but you're not in the market, and that's where you're going to really build your wealth. So I would say the first thing you got to do is call out to your benefits line, get them on the line and say, hey, just tell me about my plan.
So hold on, I got to go back because I got to throw this off the backboard to Bobby Mack. So he said, you got to work though. Did he say you got to get a job first?
You got to go work.
Yeah, okay.
So
okay, we'll get to that later, bro.
Well, yeah, because the keys to what he's
almost my bad.
What the keys to what he's talking about, you gotta be earning money to put up some kind of money, right?
Yeah.
So go.
Unless you just got it. I didn't have it.
My bad. I'm just saying we be talking, man. That's my brother.
Yeah,
He be on some
I'm
stuff.
glad you said that because I've been working at the city for like 11 years, and I just now started to look at my 457. I move some money around. It ain't a lot, but it kind of makes me feel more responsible.
Yeah.
So I feel like, hey, I could probably make a little money messing with my
You
finances
can.
and retire. So he hit it on the head. Not also do we need to know this. We got to reach out. We got to stop being scared of each other and tell me, hey man, we can actually make some money the right way if you kind of pay attention to what we telling you.
Yeah.
We just won't. Sometimes we just won't. We be interested in doing some other stuff with our money. So
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the last part is be consistent. Whatever you came up with, whatever plan
There
it
it
is, if it's $50,
Scoot the table. Close the flag.
If the flag's far away, I think.
Be consistent. Go ahead.
yeah, if you're starting out, like you say, you want to start out small, $50, just keep going.
Yeah.
Put that in every month, watch it grow, feel good about it because, hey, you took a step towards what you want to do.
Because, the big thing with the kids and working in the schools is getting to that bag. That's the conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I want them to have a long-term bag. I want them to see legacy and true wealth and understand the meaning of the bag. Like, that short-term money don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
We was coming up, we seen cats had it.
Oh yeah.
By the end of the year, it looked different in their life. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, though. So you got to really have a knowledge of finances, bro. Continue, though.
Like I say, just starting out there, figure out where you want to figure out. Okay.
Go ahead.
Just figure out. That'll be the first step.
Mm-hmm.
Think about where you want to go. Talk to your benefits person first.
Yep.
And then understand that plan. And if you need help, find somebody who's actually been in the company, who's been doing it. Because I can tell you for sure, especially when you work for these Fortune 500 companies or these companies that have stock, they're probably giving you a discount on that stock too.
Employee purchase program.
Exactly.
So if you have an EPP and you're buying it at a 10%, 20% discount, you got to buy it.
You got to put something into it.
Yeah, you got to put.
Because at the end of the day, it's going to vest for you in, say, a quarter or whatever the vesting period is. if you put money into that, you just got a 15 or 10% gain, whatever they gave you the discount for. If you want to sell it, then you got the taxes that come along with that. But that's money that's out there that you're not looking at. And this is probably a prime example right now of where we are in this economy. You know, they're raising raising interest rates like crazy. So it's going to be tough to go to maybe buy a house right now. But on the other flip side of that, CDs and money market funds are paying 5%.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for, you know, you just got all this money in your bank account and checking account or under the mattress where you can't go get, you know, 5%. Come on.
Yeah. What about index funds?
Index funds, great. That's going to track the market for you. It's something else. It just makes it makes it easier for someone to get into the market and diversify like that, right?
Right.
So a lot of times people will see, you know, Apple. They want to buy the Apple, and that's fine. But buying one share of Apple is going to cost you a pretty penny.
Right.
But you can buy the index funds, participate in a bunch of them, and then you're diversified.
So let's go and let's break down the definition. Would you break down the definition of diversify? Because, like I said, we want to be able to educate the audience. Because if I'm saying diversify, but they don't know what diversify means, so what does the diversify mean? Tell the audience more.
Sure. So the diversification.
Got any questions coming too, baby? Anything coming?
There was a quick question. You had mentioned earlier that we generally don't start to plan. It's never really too late to plan, but what age do you recommend starting to plan? Early 20s?
As
right
soon
out
as
of college?
possible.
First job type thing?
15, 17, 16, first job, 17, 16.
We as fathers should probably start teaching our kids about investing early on.
Yes.
We're going to start education funds for the kids. You know, show them early, like, hey, this is what you got in your portfolio. This is how you're going to make this money grow to be able to take care of some of your goals. So by the time we get to 18, where we can open our own accounts, that's already second nature for you. So I'd start immediately if they hadn't started yet. But it's us on parents to probably start teaching that earlier, especially if they're not teaching it in schools.
Great question.
Diversify. Absolutely.
Let's get to it.
Yep.
Explain.
And I know the diversify, you're going to break that down for us, but Devon Odoms had a question in regards to what's an index fund.
Okay. Index and diversity. I'm keeping you on point, boy.
So,
I'm your assistant, buddy, man.
an index fund is so basically let's look at the S&P 500. It's going to have 500 of the largest companies in the U.S. Those companies are going to track that sector or that index. And what you do is you can pick one, and usually their shares are probably like $50 or so, and it'll be broken up across all those companies equally, and you've bought an index. So you don't have to worry about diversification as much because you're buying into, say, 500 companies. Diversification comes into play when, you know, you don't want to be, prime example, we heard about the automobile industry crashing a few years back. You know, a lot of those folks had all their money in Ford and Chevrolet, GMC and all that. And when it crashed, you know, everything just went under. They didn't have a retirement plan anymore because they weren't diversified. They just had one stock.
The city of Detroit as a whole in Michigan.
It's blocks of homes right now that's not occupied because of that. They had to move out. They weren't diversified. So what you want to do is you look at your asset allocation. You look at the sectors you're investing in. Are you invested in technology, investing in communications, real estate? All of that makes up what a diversified portfolio is. And you don't ever want to just be in, say, one particular sector, because it doesn't really happen where, you know, I'm in technology this year, they're leading the way. Next year, it's probably not going to be technology because everybody's already loaded up on that.
Right. Correct.
Yep.
Stuff is going to move. It might be utilities the next year that comes up. So if you can be spread across it all, you'll win some, you'll minimize your losses, but you would have been across it.
That's key right there.
Multiple
That's
places.
awesome.
Key. Yeah.
So this is where my problem lies. We supposed to teach our kids about the money.
Yep.
These kids are very educated. You got some snapback ass kids now, and they're gonna say, "Well, mama, daddy, you didn't do the right thing with the money." We got issues with that, and I got issues with it because you got to be the damn example too.
Yep.
And a lot of these households don't have that example.
Sure.
Because if they see mama going buying purses and all these expensive things, like I said, these kids these days, they throw it back at you.
Yeah.
They say, "How you tell me to save?"
Yeah.
The kind of kids we got now.
I'll tell you. I
am
got
I right?
one. I
Am
got
I right?
one.
Yeah.
I got one.
They hold you accountable.
But you telling me to save, but then you going out here and doing your thing, but you telling me to save. And I know for a fact is we got to show them
Yep.
before we tell them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like you got to be like, I'm gonna be accountable if I want my kids to be accountable on the money
Absolutely.
type aspect.
It's
You
a
know what I
two-way
mean?
street on
Yeah.
it.
You got to move different.
And that's what's wrong right now with our younger kids. They come back with accountability, and we think they ain't supposed to tell us about accountability while telling them about accountability. So it got to be a two-way street on both sides of accountability. And I think the households need to get back to that, holding each other accountable.
Yeah. No, you hit it on the head. Like I said, I got a daughter now. She's 11.
On that note, I got to say this. Let's pray over our households.
True.
You understand? Because the enemy is
That
at
makes
war,
sense.
man, trying to break up our homes.
Yes.
You understand?
Very
I'm
true.
be honest with you.
Very
We're
true.
praying over our tables at our homes,
Very
man.
true. Very
But
true.
go ahead, get back to it.
Oh, I was just gonna say and agree with you, Bobby. You know, my daughter now, she'll hit me with stuff sometimes and be like, "Oh, Dad, it's only $20." I was like, "What you mean it's only $20?"
Sounds like T. Renee.
I said, "What do you do to make $20? You don't do nothing
You
yet."
don't do nothing yet. You ain't paid nothing yet.
But entitled to everything.
That word entitlement.
They just be, even though I don't work, I don't even clean my room. You still owe me. Wow, I mean, what have you done to get something out of me? I work every day. I get up and go to work every day. So why am I supposed to sacrifice for you and you don't even show me that you can clean your room without me telling you? You don't take out the trash without me telling you.
Yeah.
You don't do those household type of things. But
Right.
You want to be able to have those type of qualities when you want something. I don't think
But
it
you know,
works like that.
those chores help me with financial responsibility early.
Yes, they do.
My parents at first made it known, you're going to do this shit for free, though. Like, you don't really get paid for this shit. My mom and dad, nigga, you don't get paid for this now.
Yeah.
But when you step up your game and you start doing it without me having to tell you, and boom, you get a little extra, nigga. I'm going to slide you a couple dollars. Then that's how you begin to understand work ethic. But it starts at home.
Yeah.
And that's what Bobby's saying. There's accountability on both sides.
Especially if you even want to give the kids, if your kid gonna come back with some conversation like that, all you gotta do is throw them that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. For real. Because one dad, you didn't get no money.
That's right.
And you worked your ass off.
Work like a slave.
You worked like a slave.
Yeah, he did.
But he made you rich at the end.
Yeah.
And the one dad that was, you know what I mean, telling you to go work 40, that was the life. But so that's pretty much
I just
basically what
started
I
listening
give
to that
mine,
book
man.
again, and I'm playing that
Awesome,
back
man.
again, bro. That's a hell of
Go
a
ahead
book.
with the
No,
question.
it's a heck of a book. I think it goes back to the fact of like you said, teaching and showing, right? So for every pair of Jordans that I'm gonna buy you, I'm gonna put that same 180 or 200 in the market for you.
Man.
And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna see which one really has value.
Right.
Because I think that's a great teaching lesson
It is.
for kids. Because really, if you went and you put, $180 in the market, well, let's be honest. For some of these people, they're buying their kids, 5, 6, 7 pair of Jordans in a year. So we're talking, over $1,000. So if I spend that $1,000, and I put $1,000 in the market at the same time, at the end of the year, what is going to be worth?
Crazy.
More.
Yes.
And so it's having, the true ability to be able to say, as a parent, I'm going to show you how to be successful. Right. But we don't do that.
Right.
What we want to do is we want our kids to look like every other kid that's at school. And we're not thinking about the actual outcome of, guess what? You do that over 4 years and you put it in the right place, your kid is probably smiling.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
This is what my portfolio looks like? Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's where entrepreneurship come in. You see, a lot of us, we worry about the value of it. Okay, so the value is only if you put it on your foot. So if you go buy 5 Jordans, if you go look up the market value for Jordans, that's a business. So you should stop wearing the Jordans and start selling the Jordans.
Right.
If that's what you really into.
That's what you really. If that's what you really into, stop wearing the Jordans. Go out and resell them. Don't even wear them. Get your profit up, and then watch that money turn over, and you done create a market for yourself. You done started being an entrepreneur. It's easy, but a lot of kids
You gotta execute.
They don't
Execute, baby.
They don't want to do
So
that.
said
tell
the
me
word.
this, Mark. So tell me this.
He said the word.
If I got $5,000 sitting in my account right now, what can I do with that? What would you suggest I do with that right now, my brother?
Yeah, cause I got some questions.
There's a few things you can do with it. And like I say, it would all depend on what your plan is. You know, if you can go into the stock market, you can buy your own stocks. A lot of companies have what they call robo-advisors.
Right.
You can throw $5,000 at that and let it pick indexes and ETFs and stocks for you.
Right.
Buy a money market. You can do a bunch of things, but it depends
What
on
would
what
you
your goal.
suggest? What would you suggest right now if you had
If I had
5,000 to throw
5,000?
away, play with anything? 5 to 10,000. What you doing with that?
So I'm not gonna throw it away and play
That's
with it.
That's you know what I mean, though. You gonna invest it the right way. You gonna make it grow and build on it.
So
Absolutely.
in
So-
other words, $5,000 that you don't need to live off of. That's
Right.
when you say
Yes,
throw it away.
Throw it away. It's
So
here. You forgot
if
about
you don't
it.
need it, you know, in the immediate term. If I don't need it in the immediate term, I would just put it with the rest of my money that's being managed, and you know, they do what they need to do.
Explain that. Explain that.
As a financial professional, like we talked about, I go through myself, even though I know most of the things that you should do as an investor and things like that. I still sit down with a financial person to look
like
at
that.
my situation,
Right.
That's a fact.
because
Yeah.
I'm not day to day. You know, I'm just executing on what needs to be done at work, but I'm not sitting there thinking about, you know, all right, we got the new baby in. You know, what's college going to look like 18 years from now? Because I haven't projected that.
Right.
But you know, there's somebody else who has, and so I get with them and say, "Hey, man, I got to update my plan." Gotta update.
And to that fact, so what type of relationship should you have with your financial advisor? What should that look like?
He's got to. I won't say he. It could be he or she. They got to be your trusted advisors. Like before you do anything, you're like, "Hey, I got to call this person. Let me check in." Because if you were doing something else, like we talked about health, if you knew, you know, man, this leg been dragging, I don't know what's going on, you're gonna check in with the doctor.
Yeah.
But the person who's watching over your financial health, you're not checking in with them. You need to.
Right.
Right.
That makes sense.
So I'm a parent. You said to start investing as soon as you can, whether it's, you know, I don't know if that's $50 a month, $20 a month, whatever that looks like. How do I start and start that conversation? Where do you point us in the direction to start making that phone call to?
The first place I would go, if you're just starting out and you're just really trying to learn the basics, you can get online, man. You can go to any of these websites, these companies that, the big ones anyway. You got your Schwab's, Fidelities. They have education centers out the rears.
Yeah.
Where you can just go in and learn basically anything. I mean, you can go in and do a bunch of research on stocks. You can look at different products they have to help you out. You can watch videos, market commentary. I'll tell you a funny story. When probably my second job in the business, you know, my boss was saying, you know, if you're going to be in this business a long time, you guys want to develop yourself. You know, and it can't just be, hey, I finished school or I did this, got this license. It's got to be something that's ingrained in you. And he said, you know, when you're getting ready in the morning, instead of watching Scooby-Doo while you're eating your Frosted Flakes, you know, watch CNBC,
Yeah.
watch Bloomberg for
Yep.
20 minutes or so and just see what they're talking about. And that's when you start to get to know, you know, what these other folks are looking at. And then now you starting to be in the know. And then when you go to whatever company you're going to be on or you're going to be with, you can say, all right, I'm going to check this out and do some more research on X, whatever I just learned about today.
So the relationship is very important.
Relationship big.
That's big. I love that.
I like that.
So Rob Harper has kind of a question, comment, maybe suggestions here. How about putting money up like $200 a month for a year, which is $2,400 times the 18, which would be for an 18-year-old. That's over $40K, and not many kids have that by age 18. and then having that 40K to show them at 18 and teaching them financial literacy that way.
That's fine too. It's a plan you stuck to. If that's your goal to get that amount for that particular kid, perfect. But just know in the stock market, year over year, on average, it's gaining about 8 to 10%. So that 40K might look like 60K, might look like 70K, depending on how the market's done. If it's invested, diversified.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think that's really big. When we kind of look at it, and most people are enamored by, kind of how did they find out how to get to millionaire status. And I think the last information that I was looking at is about 9% of the U.S. population are millionaires. Yeah. So it's very small, but now it's gaining ground.
But it's very doable.
It's very doable.
My first clients I ever had that were millionaires back when I was in San Antonio, the wife was a teacher. We know how much they get paid. And like I say, that was 11 years ago. And the husband was a police officer. They'd saved up $1 million.
They didn't make that much either.
Nah.
They saved up $1 million. And they said their kids didn't even know about it.
Wow.
So that showed me, but they said, and what they told me, I was brand new in the business. We say, how did you come into this wealth? They were like, oh, we just saved. We just stuck to our plan or whatever that plan was. We just stuck to it. Our kids don't even know about this to this day.
Wow.
So it's discipline.
Discipline.
Yeah.
Discipline is why wealthy people are where they at. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I talk to them. They say, Mac, no discipline, you're going to be broke. You're going to have excuses. Yeah. You're going to be saying why this and that. And that's why some of the people who are wealthy, when you got all those excuses, that's why they just look at you like you crazy. And they just like, man, but I mean, you know what I mean? Because they heard it all. You got to understand, in that discipline ring, that's some tough battles, man. That's trenches.
It's no excuse.
That's grit.
Yeah.
No
That's
excuse.
all of that. No, I'm not buying that. No, we not. So that right there is not falling for the world. It's falling for what they need to do in this life.
For sure. So as we're going down, one, the very first thing we got to do is we've got to earn money, right?
Oh, man.
Two, we got to set goals and a plan to be able to execute. Three, once we've done that, we've got to figure out a way to save money.
Yeah. So on that notion, what I see in work, and it always happens, every year we get evaluated. Most companies, they're going to give you a raise. Raise your savings also.
Or
pay yourself, because you're gonna go out and buy something new. I got some new money.
Yeah.
I'm going to go buy something bigger. But, take care of yourself first.
Or if you are living okay, and this is one of the things that over the years as raises came for me, if you're doing well and you don't need that money, turn around and invest that into your 401k or get with your financial advisor and have that money to where you don't even see it. I'm going to shoot this directly over into this account every time I get paid.
So a lot of companies now, talk about 401ks, they'll have a setting on your 401k where you can say, raise my contribution limit 1% each year, or whatever you want to do it as.
Yeah.
And I got that on I was going to ask you about my 457. So I pull out probably about 200 every month and I put it in there. Now I'm to the point where I can play with it. I done move some money where I can make money.
Yeah.
What is there a stock or something that I can buy? What's the best function on the 457? That's what I want for Fidelity.
What I see with 457s and those state or government plans, they just have mostly mutual funds. So if you're aggressive and you feel like you want your money to grow the most it can, put it into whatever the aggressive fund is. Okay. But, just know, in markets like this, when it market's down, it can go the other way too. Yeah. But, that just means, buy some more.
Or you watching when it's doing its thing. Yeah. Like he's saying, get up in the morning and watch your money. You watch everything else.
Exactly. 457
So what
good too.
So what you're telling me, instead of watching Zatima, I should.
Wasn't that a Mac pack?
That is a Mac pack.
What you supposed to do in the morning, Mac pack?
My man. She be getting after it, man. I ain't gonna even lie. They be having money on that.
Yeah, big cheers to Zatima. So no. So that's awesome. So then I go to the fourth point, and simply to invest. So if I'm able to do that, then I build kind of a track to put me ahead of the ball game.
Yeah.
Okay. My fifth action is to protect your assets.
Yeah.
And so understanding what that looks like is to be able
to talk about that, Fish.
Well, so first and foremost, when you want to be able to protect your assets, as he says, guess what? The market is going to fluctuate up and down. So I don't necessarily, when we're talking about diversification, I look at diversification in many different arenas. Mm-hmm. Diversification to me could be, I've got a portion in the market, I've got a portion in real estate, yep. I've got a portion in businesses. Mm-hmm. So I'm utilizing a three-legged stool to have three ways of incomes coming in. Mm-hmm. I'm diversified, so if one is not performing, at least I can still balance. Yeah, sure. Right? And so I want to make sure when I say protect my assets to where if one is not performing, I want to make sure that I have a couple of other avenues that are performing so that I don't go completely bust. Mm-hmm. And so we normally rely just on one income that's flowing in, and once it's gone, everything is gone. Yeah. So I lose my car, I lose my house. Yeah. So I want to be able to build a plan that allows me to protect all of my assets.
Right.
Yeah. So the biggest thing is that we need to think about is the transformation of wealth, right? So with that, people that don't look like us, they usually have decent life insurance plans. Mm-hmm. So if
no, I love it.
No doubt.
So if one of us is not here, our family's gonna look different.
Right. For sure.
As far as how their life is, and what they expect or what they had might be some changes.
But that's how a lot of people gain wealth is through life insurance.
Right. That's the good thing. Yes. We should. More people need to go get life insurance.
Yes.
They need
Instead
to
of leaving debt when you die.
Yeah.
Because you're going to die. What you say? Ain't nobody left here alive, Matt? What you talking about?
The reason why we don't do that because we be in our feelings too much. It's facts over feelings. So when it comes to that, white people gain wealth tremendously every day just by that one aspect.
Yeah.
While we sit here and be mad over, I know, she died, but we got to keep going. First of all, Second of all, it's money there. We got to keep pushing that money issue to make more money. So
wise decisions.
And we don't. When it comes to that, we be getting our feelings.
And you know what it is? It's really behavior.
Yeah.
It's a behavior problem.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's what it basically is. It's a behavior problem.
But it stems back to a lack of knowledge. It's a lack of knowledge.
And it starts right here with the kids not even wanting to listen.
Yeah.
So if you ain't gonna listen to me, the world got a lot for you to listen to. But when they get through slapping you up,
that belt is heavy.
Oh man, and we ain't even gonna add the God. You gonna watch it.
Ebonics. Assets mean protect your ass and wear it set. Remember that. Protect your ass and wear it set.
That's right, man. That's right. Hell yeah.
No, and I say the last thing about the insurance is that it passes to whoever your beneficiary was tax-free.
There you go.
Yeah.
So that's something else you don't got to worry about. It don't go through no probate. It's just going to where it's supposed to go.
Well,
and you leave that legacy that you were looking to build or you didn't get to build or finish building. It's going to be there for them once you leave there.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is also if somebody has really kind of taking care of you. Let's just say, for instance, $250,000. Mm-hmm. You bury them. There's no outstanding debt, right? Mm-hmm. So now let's call it you have $200K. Don't take $200K and just go blow it, right?
Yeah.
Because normally that's what we see. We've got a large lump sum of money. And immediately we want to start doing things that we hadn't done instead of being financially prudent. Yes. Not saying that you can't take some of it and do your thing, but you know what? I'm going to take 50 of that and I'm going to take another 150 and I'm going to put it away and I'm going to continue to build that wealth that we're talking about.
Right.
Yeah. I would say, whoever looked out for you and they put you as that beneficiary, who you going to look out for next? Because it's got to be a cycle that's going to start going.
Yeah.
Because that's how it's always been.
That's big. Yeah. Like and share. Locker room. I got to add that for us. Like and share. Yeah. Valuable information, man. You what you say? Knowledge you can't get in college?
Yeah, that's all he giving y'all right now because a lot of y'all ain't going to go. And I'm not talking down on you. That don't mean that you're a bad person. You didn't go. College ain't for everybody.
It ain't for everybody.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I said, some people good at school, some people good at life.
Yeah.
And the people who went to the school, don't be mad at the people who good at life.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just how it all worked out. I mean, you keep doing you, okay?
Yeah.
It's positions in schools that can make you a lot of money. Yeah. It's just what you do with it and how you do it and the knowledge that he giving you, because I'm going to piggyback off of that and come back around the street and I'm going to go like this. When you die and you get on Facebook talking about GoFundMe,
this boy. Throw that man a flag. Please throw that man a flag.
But that's the truth.
That's what he talking about. That's what he talking about. That's my man and we talking about. So now you put it on our back.
Stress. We got to stress some more.
And you got all this knowledge and these phones can make you all this type, but it's on our back. You want me to, and then I look bad if I don't throw in 10.
Well,
he ain't lying.
I'm just
that's true.
Come on, eat. Let's eat.
So
the steak is on the damn plate. Let's cut it.
So
Give that man another steak. Let's go. Let's start cutting it to pieces, right?
Man,
because the harsh reality is that if there's a 2 household income and one is gone, and you have children, something is going to drastically change if there's no insurance to subsidize that income. Yeah. And when we're talking about subsidizing, we're not talking about just subsidizing for a year. We're talking about subsidizing for a lifetime. So, if you didn't put yourself in a situation to where everybody is taken care of, if you lose that income, life begins to look drastically different. And so from that aspect is the very neighborhood that you live in, you may not live in anymore.
That's true.
The schools that your kid go to that you feel great about, they may not go to anymore.
Very true.
Because it is now life altering.
Yes.
Because we really didn't understand the value of that other income that was coming in, right?
So did you add to your notes, invest in life insurance, get life insurance?
Well, number 4 is invest. And so we
won't got to break it down.
Yeah, so we want
life insurance is mandatory.
Yes. Well, it's definitely mandatory.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of, like he say, the GoFundMe is...
It's not a life insurance.
No, but it's out here though. We're still going to that. But if we educate it slightly, bro,
it's a crutch.
So I think it's 2 aspects, and not only that, but even with my business partners, we put life insurance on each other in the event that if something happens to one of us, then then guess what? The business still is alive.
My son,
I know y'all will take care of my family.
My son asked me, "Can I put life insurance on?" Why are you asking me?
It's done deal.
Go do it.
Yeah,
it's needed. Yeah, I'm at that age. You got to understand when you get to that age, you got to protect your family. It's us men out here. We've been in the streets for a while. Go take care of your plot. Don't leave that stress on your family.
I tell y'all that, man. And going through with a mother, father, and sister, and seeing every aspect from cremation to everything, and paying for funerals and all that. Man. The best thing I ever did, and my dad had insurance and all that, was paying for his funeral ahead of time. Just facing the reality. It was a harsh reality. Yeah. It was harsh, but going through it with my mother prior to, I can face this now. Let me handle this the right way.
Push the wheel.
Yes.
Push the wheel.
Get the wheel.
Push the power of attorney.
Yeah. Mandatory.
It's mandatory.
All of it's mandatory.
It saves you a lot of pain. I know that.
Yeah. And I hate to throw this plug in there, but we are gonna do something soon and bring awareness to those that are helping take care of elderly parents that are suffering from diabetes, dementia, and all that, and those that are helping just nurture their parents as they get older. So stay tuned for that from the locker room too as well.
Yeah, I mean, no, that's big.
The life insurance and all that is mandatory. But hold on, I don't want to get onto that. I got to throw in here a quick break. You take a sip, Jaguar, because you've been going heavy. You done dropped some jewels. Let's get with this ghetto sports report, this news report. Let's talk about business, my G.
All right. Well, look here. We're going to keep it short and simple. We're going to go to the NFL power rankings.
Let's get to it.
Right now, we got San Francisco. They're still number 1. Them boys out the Yay areas. That's right.
That's right.
Kansas City.
You hear that?
They number 2.
Kansas City number 2 on the
On
charts.
the chart.
Okay.
Miami, the Dolphins, they number 3.
Yeah, I see that.
Philly,
Fast. That's that track team.
yeah, they fast.
Yeah.
Philly is number 4.
Ooh.
And at coming in
The
at the final
Seagulls.
spot is Detroit, the Motor City.
Detroit is a
Shout out to
sleeper.
my
Yeah.
people in
Detroit is a
Detroit.
sleeper.
Boy.
No, we didn't make it.
Yeah,
What
we
up,
ain't-
though?
We ain't
That's
talking
all
about
right.
that.
That's all
He
right.
said,
Anyway,
I saw
Brother,
that.
he said,
I saw that G. I
we're
thought
going
it
on
was
to the
Dallas.
college top
no,
5.
hold on, leave out. Leave out, hold on.
Look, the college top 5, Georgia.
Let's get back to it.
Bulldogs, they run hard, they play hard.
Thank you,
Number 2,
Levi.
Michigan.
Let's go blue.
Michigan,
Go
number
blue.
2.
Go blue.
Number 3, Ohio State. Number 4,
Buckeyes.
Florida State. Big Ken them.
All right, we're
And
gonna
number
similar.
5 coming in rounded, Washington. They
Oh,
came
all
in
right.
and pounded on Oregon.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a hell of a game this
Yes,
week.
that
I got,
was.
I got one more. We're gonna go Central Texas football.
Oh, let's go.
Shout out
Shout
Texas
out.
football.
6A and 5A. So right now, Westlake 7-0. They on a 41 game winning streak.
Yeah.
Who gonna beat them? Can anybody beat them?
Vanderbilt.
This team came
Vandergrift.
Vandergrift. They on 7. They 7-0, and I've been rolling with these cats for a while, and they went to the championship game last year. So they're only allowing 9.4 points a game.
Whoa.
Okay.
That's holding you down.
Man.
You know
Sound
what I'm
like y'all
saying?
defense.
Then
Y'all
you
had a
got
defense like
Weiss. At this time
What?
last year, Pflugerville Weiss was 4-4. They were struggling.
that. Yeah.
But guess what? They're 8-0 right now. And they're a threat.
Go
Man,
Weiss.
They gotta
go
go up.
Weiss.
Go Weiss.
They gotta go up 35. Everybody that's been in high school know Region 2 is tough.
Yes.
If you come out of there, you're tough.
You don't want to go north.
No,
You want to go south.
Yeah, that's it. They're coming in at number 5, Lake Travis.
Oh, they didn't came back.
6-1, but they tied with Dripping Springs.
Okay.
They'll play for the second place spot Friday night. Whoever wins that game
They're gonna
secures the
Where's that
second
game
place.
at? You know where that game is,
I don't know
bro?
yet.
You
I
gonna
don't
find
know.
out, though.
I'll
You
find
gonna-
out. You know,
gonna
I'll
let
be
us
there.
know. Okay.
I'll be there.
Yeah,
But
Okay.
they gotta follow you though. Where can they
Yeah.
follow you at?
Follow me at Mr. 23 Texas at YouTube, or you can follow me at Texas Heat Track Club ATX on Facebook.
So Levi, one request, from the Ghetto News Reporter,
Yeah.
Sports News Reporter,
Yeah.
is once you find out that game, can you send that to the locker
Will
room
do.
And we
so we
shoot
can
that
so we
out.
can
I
blast
will.
that
I
out?
will.
we shoot
And
that.
this is last but not least. This is the 5A rankings. Rouse 6-0. 6-1 after being beat by Belton. They went on a nice little run. They're averaging 34 points a game.
Man.
They got the young kid out there named Keller. He's pretty good. He's been showing out. Number 2, Georgetown. They only allow him 14 points a game in their 4-game winning streak.
Which Georgetown?
The regular
Eagles?
Georgetown. the
Okay.
Eagles.
All right.
Number,
Go Jordan.
number
Big shout out to
3.
Big Jordan.
Number 3, Liberty Hill. They 5-3. They averaging 432 yards a game, and they only averaging 27 yards a game. They being physical with you.
Yeah.
So if
Oh,
you
they
ain't
all
physical,
physical.
don't get in the don't play.
Don't
them.
even do that.
Don't
Don't
play
even
them.
show up.
So it's happening in the trenches.
In the trenches.
I guarantee you it is.
Number 4, LBJ. They had their non-district schedule. They got roughed up a little bit, but guess what? They 4-0 right now in district,
All right.
and behind Ali Scott's 27 combined run and pass touchdown. That's pretty
Shout
good.
out my Jaguar. Let's go, Greg. Yeah. Get ready
Last
for the
but not
playoffs.
least, Cedar Park coming in at number 5 on the 5A rankings. They 4-3.
Yeah.
They play this weekend. They tied for 4th. They can't lose no more games or they out of there. So that'll do it for the Central Texas best. And back to the locker room.
Man. All right.
Excellent,
like that,
baby.
man.
Yeah, I told you. Hey. Jaguars put out great products. What? If you're looking for a school, they ain't dancing all in the video.
All in the video.
Come check out LBJ. The education is great, and we get into it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
give us
yeah,
the
yeah.
location of the game.
Okay, so on the 20th, Lake Travis plays Dripping Springs at Dripping Springs.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Now, let me
7:30.
speak on that because that's going to be a tough game for Lake Travis.
Talk about
'cause
it.
Dripping Springs just came off an emotional loss to Westlake.
Oh, so they
They
made.
barely beat Westlake. Barely beat them in the last second. So
Oh,
my
they
prediction: Dripping Springs will win that game.
by 7, 14 or what?
7.
7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those Tigers want to eat, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, bringing it back. We're gonna bring it back to the finance.
Thank you, Mr. Washington.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Levi.
Thank you, sir.
Excellent, boy.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
The Ghetto
Get y'all
News
some
Reporter.
Jag juice when you come to the tater.
That's it, baby.
So Mark, we've touched on the importance of investing early. We've talked on the importance of life insurance. And now I think, probably a great piece is for those that are in the middle of their career and those that are on the back half of their career that probably have not saved as much. And so how do you, one, accelerate that plan, or two, guess what? I'm getting ready to retire. I think my plan is enough. And how do I, at 65, get those funds? What does that look like?
Yeah. So the first thing you hit on is like, do I have enough to retire? You question yourself, or you started late, which is fine. You just got to know you got to be that much more disciplined. You're going to have to put in, invest that much more so that $50 you might have saved, 20 years ago per month might look like $500 a month now. So you might have to cut some things and just to make sure that the life you want to have looks better.
Right.
Second part of that question was, how do you get all that stuff, back to be accessible? You got to get with a financial advisor because they got to navigate that for you. You could take it all out of the market, put it in your bank account, but now you're not winning for the rest of the years you got left on this earth.
Right.
So you don't pull it all out. Some of it's gonna have to stay in to continue to, grow for the times that you're not working now, because now you're in what they call the distribution phase.
Let me ask you a question on the financial advisor. How early can you get a financial advisor? Like age, and for the street cats, they got money. It's okay to get a financial advisor in the streets. If you're gonna be out there getting money in the streets, it's best you might want to invest in a financial advisor. I mean, because that money don't last, guys.
It ain't gonna last. It ain't gonna last. It's gonna go fast.
It's gonna go fast.
So
it depends on what type of level of service you're looking for.
Okay.
Right.
If you want somebody, just to take it all and just manage it for me, do your thing, that's gonna cost you something.
Okay.
But if you just get with a big enough company, like you say you with Fidelity, you call Fidelity up, they're gonna give you some game if you just call them and ask them some questions. You don't gotta pay nothing. Just call and talk to them.
They didn't even know.
That's all you gotta. All you gotta do is call and talk to them,
Okay.
and they gonna help you out. It's a whole spectrum. They're gonna tell you what to do. They're not gonna do it for you, but they'll tell you exactly what you need to do to whatever your question is.
All right.
So I'm on the back end as we talked about. I'm going to retire at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I've done well. I've saved my money, but I don't know how to work the distribution pieces.
Right. So that's when you start to look at your expenses. How much do you need to continue to live the life that you want to live? So you might run the numbers, or whatever company you with run the numbers. They can tell you like, hey, you don't have enough to retire. It's gonna have to look different. Either you're gonna have to change what your goals were and what retirement looked like, or work a few more years, and then you can have the life that you were looking for. But if something's not adding up, look at your expenses and what you are projected to do as far as health and all that. They got projections for all that stuff. You get with a financial advisor with whatever company you're with, they'll be able to tell you you're not gonna make it 15 more years living this life.
Right.
The way you want to live. You're going to have to change some things. They're going to be brutally honest with you, or they should be. If they're your real trusted advisor, you had that relationship with them, they should be able to tell you, hey, we got to make some changes to this.
Scale back.
No.
Yeah, for real.
But the great thing about this and going back is, in the beginning, like the great E40 said, stay within your envelope.
Yeah.
Live within your means.
Yeah.
We got to quit trying to live frivolously. We don't have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
You understand?
We're not on
Live
TV.
within your means, good people. Stay within your envelope, baby.
So I mean, I think, Ray, that's great advice. The thing is that it's hard, right? And the reason that it's hard. Now, as we get older and we begin to mature, we understand the value of money. But when we're young, most people don't understand the value of money because we haven't been educated. So it is easy for me to see my partner with those Air Force Ones and me to go get those Air Force Ones, knowing that they cost $90. I got $95. So I'm gonna go buy those $90 Air Force Ones so I can flex and look good, and I'm only gonna have $5.
But that's a lack of what?
Education. So
And it's a perspective too.
And discipline.
and it is perspective.
And it all falls into discipline as well. It's a lot of black kids in America, around America, that's doing amazing things
Oh yeah.
I see 'em
around the
every day.
world. You know what I
see 'em
mean?
every
And
day.
they from 9 to like 15, and one of them is then graduated from Harvard, and he 14 years old, and now he's talking about going back and helping his black people in the community. You think they ain't gonna listen to it? Oh, they gonna listen to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we just gotta, us as black people, I think one of our issues is you don't tell me what to do with my money.
Man, I want to hear it.
There you
I
go.
don't hear that shit. I've been living this long. It's like trying to tell somebody to stop smoke. I'm still alive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So and then what happens is, to be honest with y'all, what happens is you can't let that one kill you from still wanting to go teach it.
Right.
You got to be like, well, go ahead then.
Yeah.
Keep on doing your
You
thing.
can't save everybody.
You can't save everybody. So go to him. Keep pushing it, because there's somebody out there that's going to listen to you. And we got to
receive it.
keep spreading this word. And I believe deep down inside, if I don't tell my kids about what Mr. Perkins said, if I don't tell my kids, I feel like I hate you.
You failing them.
I feel like I'm saying I hate you. Because love gonna push it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if I don't say nothing to you, I'm saying I hate you.
Yeah.
In a sense.
What's hurtful too in the black community, money situations is a mental health issue.
Yes, it is.
We
you
haven't
go.
recognized that
There
yet.
you go.
We keep going and repeating the vicious
Same
cycle
cycle.
of not having no
Continuous.
money, being angry all the time, blowing up on your spouse, your family, your kids. Yeah, that's a mental illness. That's what we got Heath Muhammad for.
Yeah.
So anybody that has an outlet, I think we need to up that up some more to kind of pull our black people in and start dealing with our mental health issues.
That's mandatory.
I'd rather us deal with it than the law.
Yeah.
They don't have no compassion when it comes to mental illness and us as people.
And on top of that, to piggyback off of Levi, all the books that I've read, and I read some books where they became millionaires and all of that. And I've been using this phrase, but I don't think it's gonna work for me, but I've been using it, is I don't wanna look rich.
Go ahead.
Finish it. Finish it.
Okay.
Finish it.
I'm listening.
You listening? But I'm dead ass broke.
Yeah.
In the mind, in the bank,
In the spirit.
in the spirit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So here we are. I'm reading these books, and I'm gonna let y'all know with these books, because for the simple fact that when I was reading on it, he said, I want to blend in. So you don't even think I got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you know, and I got a brother that acts like that.
Smart
He,
man.
you know what I mean? And he right over there, but I ain't gonna point him out. You know what I'm saying? But
He's
what
got-
I'm saying,
he got some sketches
but,
on.
yeah, man.
some
But he, no, I love the way he do it. I just love the way he do it. I love the way he do it. And guess what? God allowed me to see it.
Yeah.
So I can't say I ain't saw nobody like that. You crazy.
Yeah.
I look at that joker every Tuesday. What you saying? And he don't brag. He don't say he got this. You ain't hearing him say that. You don't hear him. And guess what? He'll go right in there and blend with all of them. You wouldn't even know he had.
Bottom
If I didn't
ball,
say a
walk
damn
out.
thing, you wouldn't even know he had as much as he had. But these are the things that we got to stop letting our kids go to school being the novice. With Jay down, everything down, but then you ask him, what's in your bank? What that man say? What's in your wallet? You know what I'm saying? Though? They giving us the message,
Yeah,
man.
they disappear. Like we need y'all to either, if you're not gonna go to school and be a doctor or a lawyer or somebody that can help the movement, at least go in and work.
Yeah.
For not for us, for yourself, for your family. Go in there and create some type of wealth.
Say that
for-
again,
for-
though.
for
Say that
somebody.
again. Repeat
You know
that.
what
I
I'm
threw the
saying? If
flag,
you're not,
but you couldn't
if
see
you're
it.
not gonna go to college, at least go in there and get you a job and start working. Like he said, create the wealth. Because once you start working,
putting that money
you can
in.
put that money in, and then you can start seeing it, and it get
It'll
better.
make sense.
It makes sense. It
It'll
get
make
better.
sense.
So don't just give up. A lot of us just give up right after school because Bobby Mack said it. School ain't for everybody, but working is.
Bro, we done had dudes that worked at the city retire and have better lifestyles than dudes that went to college and do other shit. I'm telling you, went straight and I'm telling you, I worked at a trash company. They made fun of the trash company.
I don't know why.
I seen dudes work at that trash company make
that trash.
80 to 100 quit, bro, and not even get dirty out their truck. But they try to discourage us from working them kind of jobs with them hell of a careers. And they retired at like 40.
Very true.
You know what I'm saying? And went on to something else in their lives, bro. I'm just telling you.
No,
so
talk.
it goes back to getting the trade and the skill. But operating in your guard calling. Get in your calling. Find guard first. I can't leave y'all no episode without telling y'all to find guard.
I retired at 45
you know
years old.
Tell them again, B-Mac.
I retired at 45, but I did the right thing because I had a financial advisor.
Yeah, that's right.
And you know what I mean? So when he's saying all this, it's like music to me. I love it. I will, after all this, we go sit down and say some more, but because that's just how I am. I love to talk about something that I wasn't good at.
Yeah. Well, for sure.
You know what I mean, man?
Sure.
Like it was a kryptonite one time in my life.
Well, I think the biggest piece is that we are so prideful to where we don't want to sit back and yield to the fact of, man, guess what?
Yeah, it is,
Mark is right. We are so prideful to where we don't want to take advice from somebody. We don't want to yield. That man is here because he know more about finances than I do.
Right.
So I want to be able to get that knowledge, understand. I want to be able to have somebody to say, you know what, man, let me give Mark a call. You know, let me talk to somebody over there at Charles Schwab so that I can get on the right pathway, right? And so that's what this is, you know, the locker room is about. It's about being able to bring people that are in industries that we're not knowledgeable about. So we want to just educate.
All you got to do is you really just got to give it to somebody because the education is inside of all of us. But when you bring it out, because you let's be real, a street guy can come to him and then he can get something and he can turn all this around and be like, hold on, man, if I turn my street knowledge, what this book knowledge, now you powerful.
Soak up game. Just like he's passing knowledge, street guys, soak up game.
Soak it all
it's
up.
Right here.
Free game.
It's free game.
Yeah.
So, Mark, as you drinking your Jag juice, getting your sip, what do you have for us regarding just, we've touched a little bit on everything, right? Like I said, the start, the middle, the end, really being scared of asking the question, understanding that there needs to be a relationship with my financial advisor, but for our Black community that is struggling, right? Because we haven't known the value of money. What do you give us? I mean, give us some insight as to, you know, what do we need to drive to in order to start building really a better tomorrow?
Yeah. Couple of things, and I'd go back to what I was saying earlier. You know, start somewhere, but you got to humble yourself. You got to humble yourself because you don't know what you don't know. So if you're not asking those questions or sitting down with somebody who has, you know, the actual account wherever your 401k is, that's the easiest place to start. Start there, get comfortable, you know, talking to somebody else. And I can tell you this, we've seen it all. I've seen an account with $3 in it, and I've seen an account with 600 million in it. It don't bother me either way. If they're a professional in that business, they're gonna talk to you just like anybody else. They know you gotta start somewhere. Nobody's looking. It's just like playing golf. You're not gonna get out there and just swing the club like Tiger Woods. It's just gonna take a long time for you to build up to be like something. So you gotta start somewhere. No, nobody's gonna judge you. You might judge yourself. You're probably gonna judge yourself. I can say probably 99% of the time you're gonna judge yourself more than we are.
Right.
We you know, that's our job. We there to help you get to that next spot. Whatever that next spot is, identify it and look to see who can I talk to about getting to that place.
Okay.
I got a question. So you telling me, Perk, that a high income is not enough?
It depends on your lifestyle. Depends on your lifestyle.
Okay.
Like I say, the first millionaires I met was a teacher and a police officer.
Right.
and they did it. Just sticking to the plan.
I didn't take getting my first house and making sure I had $3,000 in the bank serious. I do now.
No doubt.
That's what's up, man. Yeah.
It matters.
Yeah, it matters, man.
So what? Let me ask you this, Money Man. What about small groups of investment groups, like us pooling our resources? How does that make sense in our community? Pooling our resources and bringing even small group people with less than. How does that make sense?
And it's out there on Facebook. You can join investment clubs or investment groups. It's just another aspect for you with these phones to be able to get some more knowledge. You don't have to invest nothing, but maybe we get together and just talk about what we saw in the market today while we were eating our Cheerios.
Right.
Yeah.
So it don't matter where you starting at. Start a conversation. Then after a year or two, if it take that long, maybe we do pull the trigger and buy something.
Yeah.
Black folks can't say they can't do it because
it's
available. When the lottery is 4 million, it be people all together coming together like they smoking dip to buy some lottery.
Yeah.
It be wrapped
like they
around.
smoking dip.
Huddle up, everybody huddle up.
Yeah.
Pooling
Boy,
in with
that
their
dumb.
money to go get one.
So don't say you can't do it.
Don't say you can't do it.
Because you've been doing it.
They've been doing it.
You can do it.
Yeah. You can do
So it's really selling the dream. Everybody's after the dream instead of really investing is hard work.
Yeah.
Because I got to be disciplined to
There
it
you go.
and make the sacrifice month in and month out, month in and month out.
Integrity.
But if I got a group of dudes I go drink with or go play pool with or smoke with, we spending money, right? So why not trust them and take the load out? Like you put 20 in, I put 20 in. Let's invest this instead of tricking out.
Discipline.
Yes, but then this is what I also want to tell our people. If your crowd and your clique is still having the same conversation they had last year and the year before, it's time to switch it up, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your conversation got to change. You got to be growth in your conversation and your communication too.
But I feel, and so I'm gonna play
I
devil's
don't want
advocate.
knowledge, man.
I'm gonna go devil's advocate,
You're a
right?
smart dude, bro.
Okay.
I've been messing with him since I walked in. Go ahead, man.
I'm gonna do this. Some of our issues is if you did that with some members of the family or whatever, and y'all putting the money in, and all of a sudden Day can't come up with that 100. Everybody looking at him, hey man, what's up? Man, I ain't
All right. You out.
you out, right?
Yeah.
But what happens though, Perk? Well, give me my money, I put in then.
Man, that's why I just told him he was smart though. Now listen to what this man, and it goes back to relationships. He talked about this the first week. And if we really family,
I'm just
Bobby Mack, if we really family and you ain't got your 100, me and Elmer better come up with your 100 if we really family to cover for that month, bro.
okay.
If we really get into the basis of being family, and ain't no pulling out, nigga. We done signed this contract. We all finna make this shit work, bro.
We finna make it work,
That's
man.
real love and family.
And
though.
that'll give
You
maybe
said
that'll.
that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Maybe that'll give him maturity to not give up. It ain't always gonna be like that, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can come back and man want to throw 2 in because you fell off a little bit, right?
Now-
Not only that can break the curse of mental illness about money.
it
Just
is.
that
Sad
little
you out.
aspect. You can break the curse and be like, have
Beef
somebody
Muhammad.
that never thought that way be like, man, I'm bringing 500 to the table now. Let's go, so yeah.
Because I
would
stepped
say,
up,
look,
they really got my back.
Exactly.
What you think,
yeah,
Perk?
if that's the plan, or if that's the case, yeah. If it works out, perfect.
Perfect.
But if it don't, there's got to be an exit strategy at some point.
Always.
Always. Gotta be a parachute somewhere.
The exit
The
strategy should
parachute.
be never be scared of hard work. Because now you got to go back and work
And
hard.
grind.
Come on, if we
And keep
family,
building.
Keep
if
building.
we
There you
family,
go,
we can
Bob.
figure out a way to make this work. But you got to come through at some
Exactly.
point.
Yeah.
And you guys' system is it keep you on track.
Yeah, stick with the plan.
You know what I mean? And it goes with discipline. I'm always gonna say that because discipline do something that motivation can keep doing to you. Discipline keeps you there.
Yeah.
See, motivation is like motivation is like taking a bath every day. You're gonna have to need it every day. And when you don't have it,
But I'm gonna tell you,
Everybody gonna know.
Can I plug out one of my favorite restaurants? Tater Q.
right off the bat,
Hey, say don't come work at Tater Q
man.
If you don't have no discipline, boy, that be true. That boy has zero tolerance. If you
3 a day.
And wait till you see D1.
3 a day.
Oh, the dark one.
Oh man,
she be true.
It's and this
gotta stay focused.
But you gotta understand that it's leadership.
There you go.
And then we get help from leadership.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? But he adds on to what we already have. He just come at it at a different angle. You know what I mean? But it helps us get bigger in what we doing because we gotta show these babies, that it takes this to get where you going in life. You might not work for as long, but you're gonna learn something while you are here. You just not out here. If you're in the kitchen, you're not just cooking. If you're a runner, you're just not a runner.
Yeah.
Oh, Uncle Bobby finna come give you some knowledge that you ain't gonna get in college.
Yeah.
And it'll help you in life.
Yeah.
And I talk to my staff and we talk to them about money. Now I'm not all in their pockets and all of that, but now it's time to start understanding, like when you coming up short, talking about what you mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What you mean you can't pay your rent? You know, you hear all the time, you're making your tips, what's going on. We already know we can, and he gonna come back and give us another lesson on that, but still, it's for the simple fact that we are leaders in this building because this is what God told us to do.
Man, say that again, boy. Obedience. Say that again, bro. Y'all what?
We are leaders in this building because this is what God told us to do. He said, have dominion over the things that I give you.
That's right.
And I try to tell people, don't leave out that one other word. He says subdue. You know what that means? Crush things that don't belong.
Go. Say it again. Crush things that what?
Don't belong.
What a collection plate is.
Oh, okay. My bad. Let me leave, man. I'm out, man.
Arthur Sneed, when y'all gonna come up here and anoint the man? I already told y'all. Put your hands on it.
Man, I love y'all, man.
All right, I got a question.
Yeah.
So this investment group, what does that look like? What does it take to get that started? And how do you keep that going with the people that you have in the investment group? Like rules and regulations that you have to put amongst yourselves.
I like that. Good question.
Yeah.
Great
the
question.
That sound like a man that's ready to do something.
Hell yeah.
That sound like a man ready to perform.
Man.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean the last part of it, what you said is how do you make the rules amongst yourself? You got to make sure you get with some quality people.
Quality.
And iron that all out in the beginning. So when something goes awry, you can say, hey, we already spelled this out right here. We got to stick to this.
Yeah, that's the key.
Right.
Don't look for the parachute never.
So when you're starting a business, you got to have SOPs, standard operating procedures. It shouldn't
Smart dude.
it shouldn't deviate.
I love it.
It shouldn't deviate
I want to hear that.
in anything that you do. Honestly,
Can I have a flag for that real quick? When you do what? Say that again. I start from the beginning.
I just threw the flag.
Thank you, because
Elmer gonna hit you.
He gonna hit you on
Yeah,
set.
man.
Leave it to him,
So
my
you
dude.
should have SOPs, standard operating procedures.
Man.
And no matter whether that's an investment group, no matter whether that's your business,
a club, whatever.
whatever,
it is. Yeah.
you should have SOPs, right? And then everybody, the truth of the matter is when you write those SOPs, you should have a signature line at the bottom.
Thank you.
And you should have everybody to ink that. So I want to make sure that you read it and you agree to it.
Yep.
Because now when you come back, we can always come back and say,
It's right here.
this is your ink. This is your signature.
Bruh.
So
as a basketball coach, I did that with parents and the athlete. I hold them accountable to do that. That's mandatory with anything. Go ahead.
So
you teaching, boy. I love you.
I think it goes to that fact, along with when you are building a group of it, whether it's investors or you're building a company. There's two things you got to think about. Is one, are we building this to keep it so it's our baby,
Right.
Yeah.
or as you talked about the exit strategy, are we building this to sell it?
Yes. That's a
So
thing too.
you've got to be able to understand what those strategies look like, because if you don't, and if everybody on the same page, if half of us thinking that we building this, we get our $4.5 million and we gonna sell it, and then we got another half of the crew saying, guess what, we gonna take this 4.5 and we want to make it 10.5 and keep moving. everybody got to be on the same page.
Yeah.
Because from an investment standpoint, whether it's investment group or not, we need to know where we rowing to.
So basically what he's saying is like Kevin is saying, everything need to be wrote out, correct?
Yep.
So everybody on the same page and stick with it and be like,
as we know, when the money's involved,
Yes,
it
we
gets
do.
funny real
We're
quick.
not in this to cash out at $100.
Nah.
Yeah.
We in this to make $100,000.
No.
100
$100
million.
million.
Yeah.
Flip it and make $100 billion.
right.
They're cashing out too soon.
So I'm a firm believer that when we talk about investments, is people start thinking very short term, right? And so I think that one, when you go in here, if I'm talking to a guy like Mark, I want to say, you know what, we may start off this year, it may be 20,000, but what do we need to do to build this portfolio, like you said, to be 5 million, 10 million bucks? Tell us what the actual overall strategy is of what we need to do. How many people do I need to bring to the table?
Right.
Do we all need to be putting 1,000 in a month? What does that look like? So we're going to formulate this plan, and then we all going to sit down at the table and say, okay, this is how we go get it. This is how we go eat.
And then go get it evaluated each year or every quarter, however you want to look at it. Get it looked at.
Get it looked at.
I like that.
I love it.
What does invest mean? Invest don't mean hit a quick lick and quit working.
No.
Oh,
That ain't investing.
That ain't
No.
what hit a quick lick and quit. That ain't what.
That ain't
What does
it.
investing mean? Explain that to me.
We always tell clients, because everybody say, the market's down, I'm not going to get in right now. Wait till it gets to the bottom. But it's not about, time in the market. It's about time in the market.
Flag, old.
Flaggy.
Say that again, my brother. You freak. Go ahead. Say that again.
Oh, okay. It's not about time in the market. You're never going to find the absolutely right time to get in there, but it's about how much time you spend in the market. Like I said earlier, the market's going to turn over 8 to 10% every year. And sometimes you can have some bigger ones.
Absolutely.
So you got to be there to be able to participate.
And like I said, you said something earlier that I love because that's my strategy. I may buy low, it gets up there, it peaks, I'm in. Guess what? It comes in, it drops, I'll get right back in some more. So I know it's gonna make the W, right? Yeah. So then as it's going back up, peak, we in this thing. It drop again, I'm all in. I mean, just from learning and sitting at the table, I don't want it to happen, but if a recession do happen, I'm like, it's time to go. It's time to dump in, right?
Because it's going to be that much better when they come back.
Right. I mean, the last recession, I was thankful because American Airlines, Southwest Airlines, and just tub.
Yeah.
Just pour in. Right? And then what happens? People going to start back flying.
They
going to start back,
They ain't got no choice.
Yeah.
What goes up, go down.
Yeah.
Peaks and valleys.
So like you said, it's learning how to play the game. Just because it dips don't mean that you immediately jump out.
Right.
That's when you go back in.
So, Mark, where can we find you, brother?
Yeah.
The easiest place to find me is probably on LinkedIn.
Okay.
You can access me there. It's on my phone. It's on my work phone.
That's what people that work.
You see me,
right?
I got a
You
boat.
got LinkedIn. That's working people.
No, I'm on there. I got
Facebook.
We said that early.
You got
to work. You gotta go to work.
He said, you got a bow tie on LinkedIn. I love that. That's real.
Yeah,
That's real.
I be getting hit up by people I don't even know. They be offering me jobs I'm not even qualified for.
Yeah.
Y'all got the wrong person, but the numbers look good.
Real.
So while we have him here, Mark Perkins, VP of Charles Schwab, dropped a lot of nuggets tonight.
Yes, he did.
Y'all give him some big hearts. Heart him
Please
up for
do,
coming
man.
in and speaking with us.
Yes.
Speaking of giving some love and some hearts, there are a couple of shout outs to Money Mark. One from Brandon Lewis. He's proud of his little brother.
What's up, Brandon?
And also, forgive me if I'm saying this wrong, but I think it's Aurelius Walker.
Aurelius.
Okay, Riri, I apologize. And then one from Coop. Shout out to my boy Mark. He's a leader in the workforce, but also in the community. He's been a coach with the Austin Honey Badgers and also works the high jump at our meets. He's become someone the kids can truly depend on, and we appreciate all he does. # salute the real.
Mark, baby.
And right there at the end, I seen wifey. Great job, Mark.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she did just jump in.
That's what's up.
So
I love that, man.
if this is beneficial, y'all please hit in the comments if this is the type of information that you love to hear, want to hear, and I'm sure that we can continue to get Mark back on some segments to even dive deeper with questions that you may have. But take us away.
Well, like as God continue to bless us, He inspires us. You're going to hear from Mark, ain't no question. We're going to start giving y'all financial tips from week to week through our guys. Everything God bless us with, we're going to pull back out. It's what you always say, Bobby, it's not about us, huh? It's bigger than us.
It's bigger than us, but it's for us.
It's for us.
I like that.
We love y'all. Continue to like, love, and share. Continue to support. Thank y'all for the great support. Pray over your families. Have a blessed week. And we back at it next week.
See y'all.
No handouts, just hand ups, baby.
That's it, baby.
Just hand ups.
Big.
Love it.